Hello, welcome back to Heaven Under Construction. My name is Jennifer Engel, and for those of you who are just joining me, I'm a breast cancer survivor back from 2014, and just recently I had got a CT back saying that there might be a little bit of abnormalities within my chest. And so one of the things that I was going to do is I was going to do something called reflective poetry, where I compare and contrast the poetry that I wrote for my book Heaven Under Construction back in 2014. It was published in 2017. What I was going through then and what I'm going through now. I found that reflective poetry really does help me process the emotions and things that are going on in my mind as you're going through this process. And I hope that maybe it's something that either helps you by listening to me, or even better yet, maybe it's something you want to practice yourself as well. So in the left side, when you're first diagnosed with cancer, it can be extremely scary, and it can be equally as scary, the second or the third time. I also had a little bit of cancer that was found in my spine last fall 2020. So every time it comes up, you kind of go through the process again. Today's poetry is really going to be about that time, the waiting period. The waiting period can actually be one of the most difficult times. It's kind of like when you go through this process, there's going to be a lot of waves. You're going to be up, down, up, down, up, down, or I should say down, up, down, up, down, up. The first time that you hear that there might be cancer, you're really down. And then there's just a lot of anxiety between the time when you hear that you might have it, the time when you find out the exact diagnosis, and then the time that they actually tell you that there is treatment that's going to start, because it can actually end up being weeks. And so a lot of times what cancer people will do is they'll perseverate upon worst case scenarios. They'll start thinking about their mortality. They'll start thinking all their fears will come up based on the different types of treatments that they might have to go through. So the left side I'm going to read was from 2014. It's called Time. It's the second poem within Heaven Under Construction. And then I wrote a similar reflective one of what I'm going through now. So here we go. Time clicks away, steady and consistent. Moments, however, vary. April 30th, a sad, slow whale song, a painful biopsy. Sit and wait. May 9th, mournfully mixed up, I wail at the words, you have cancer. May 15th, treatment now. Anxious energy begins to build future treatment plans. Time mocks me, I now understand and become unsure of just how much of it I have. And now for 2020. Waiting is the hardest part. August 9th, CT comes back. Central airways are open and clear, but small abnormalities are found. August 19th, the only real concern is 2 large lymph nodes found between your lungs. PTSD triggered when the doctor asks, how open are you to chemo? Trying to stay calm in each now moment until an exact diagnosis is reached. Patience sometimes tested, keeping negativity behind me, and my eyes focused upon a healthy future. This time around, I'm trying to be more in my now moment. I'm finding that is something that actually really helps. Another thing that's really helping me this time around as well, I was starting to perseverate. So chemotherapy is caused post-traumatic stress syndrome in me for about 5 years, and I would take it out on my hair. Every time I was stressed or someone said, when are you going to grow your hair back or something like that, I actually ended up shaving it off. There was a lot of anger inside of me, and I just got my hair back. I have it pulled back today because it's a hot day here in Illinois, and I didn't want to actually put it down today, but I finally got it back to like this really beautiful place that I like to have it. And so I have a new oncologist. This is actually the third oncologist I've been to. And so he didn't really know me, but when he said that word chemo, that definitely triggered post-traumatic stress. Tears came up. So when he mentioned that, it was like replaying like a record in my head over and over. Or when I went to go get my hair cut, all I could do was just look in the mirror and say, but I just got it back to where I wanted to be. I just got it back to where I wanted to be. And one of the things that's actually helping me is I kind of heard the universe say, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have these negative thoughts in your head. But two things. Number one, I just picture this that word as almost like a little critter or something like that who keeps saying chemo, repeating over and over. I just throw it in my backpack, because one of the things that the universe was telling me is use negativity like a wind to push you forward to where you would rather be, rather than turning around and heading straight into the negativity where it could easily like topple you over, right? It could easily overtake you. So every time I'm playing that word in my head over and over again that I don't like, I just put it in my backpack and I say, keep pushing me forward to where I'd rather be. That way I'm not getting tripped up over it, like trying to face it directly head on. So that's actually been really helping me a lot. The other thing that's been helping me a lot is staying in my now moments. Right now, I feel okay. Right now, I feel fine. This is where I think having healthy distractions is okay. I'm back to work, so I really don't think about it too much. It's mostly the times when I have downtime, down moments. So another good strategy is to try to keep yourself busy with positive, good things. And then stay connected to other people, because actually that is kind of like a Bible quote, but it's also a scientific thing, actually, if you think about it. Where the two of you are, there I am. Actually, if you look at an atom, there are protons and neutrons. They're bound together really, really tightly by a force, and I think that force is love and connection. And the negativity actually goes around protons and neutrons, and these two things are so bonded and so strong. And I've actually noticed this in my own life, that when I'm with other people that I'm really connected to, none of that negativity is actually in my head or around me. A lot of times it is very much kind of like that, when the sheep wanders from the flock, when I'm alone, that's when the negativity can come in. So my top 3 tips during this waiting period is to, when you perseverate upon something, imagine throwing it in your backpack and using it like the wind to push you forward to where you really would rather be. Number 2, trying to create as many positive distractions as possible. And number 3, really staying connected with people and around people as much as possible, because when you are bonded and when you are connected, that fear literally has no place within there. Or if the fear actually does come up, at least you'll have someone there with you and you won't be alone. I hope that this has helped someone today, and I hope you use your own tips and strategies to help those who you know might be going through something during this time. I'll see you next week for my next video.